back to Nickelodeon ASMR. I hope y'all are having an amazing day. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I got something a little special and a little spooky. We got some candy corn. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of candy corn, but in the spirit of Halloween, I decided to eat it. It's a classic, you know. Also, I have my trusty iPad with me, and I'm going to be reading over some creepy Reddit stories. I am on the subreddit r/no sleep. So apparently it's a bunch of creepy stories from real people that I want to read to y'all. And I'm just gonna be eating these candy corn while I'm reading, of course. First off, let me get this open without making too much noise. Oops. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, also I have my little homeboy in the background. Only the OGs know who this is. He's back for today, maybe for a while. I don't know, but he's kind of creepy, so yeah. Alright, there we go. Got them laid out. It's not all of them because I genuinely do not plan to eat all of these. But I got some out. And I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to do a little bit of rambling first and then we'll get into the stories. It is currently October the 29th. Halloween is literally in 2 days. All my friends, well, all of my friends are out at Halloween parties and stuff this weekend. And personally, I'm not doing anything, I don't think. Mostly just because I don't have a lot of friends. I really don't have friends, to be honest with you. Plus, I don't know. There's a fly bothering me right now. I hope you can't see it. Anyways, though, yeah. I don't really have any friends or plans. So I'm just most likely gonna spend a night, spend Halloween in the gym, as usual. Getting them gains in, you feel me? It's bulking season too, so this kind of helped. I mean, not helps, but like, it's okay that I'm eating this, you feel me? Anyways, these honestly don't taste as bad. Well, they're okay. Y'all want one? You can only get one though, I'm sorry. Unless you want more, you have the rest of the bag. Anyways, yeah. Last Halloween, I literally went out like the entire weekend. It was honestly kind of fun. I guess this year though, absolutely nothing, which is fine. I'm not sad, you're sad. Okay, anyways, let's just get into these stories. I wasn't trying to talk your ear off. Oh yeah, also before we get into the story, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank y'all so much for all of the support that y'all been showing me lately. Thank you for getting me to 600 subscribers. We're literally about to hit 700 subscribers really soon. It's insane. Maybe we can hit 1,000 by freaking Christmas. Who knows? That's the goal. We can hit 1,000 for Christmas. But I'm so grateful. Thank y'all so much for all the nice comments, for all the likes, the people who subscribe. It means a lot to me, and I wanna start taking this channel a lot more serious and uploading a lot more. Cause I've been so focused on my vlog channel, and like I'm not getting that same type of support on there that I am on here. So I'm like, I might as well start giving y'all a lot more of my time and more of my attention, cause y'all rock with me and I rock with y'all. So thank you. Okay, now let's get into the stories. Let's see. The first one says, wish I had paid more attention. Oops. My sister moved into my apartment because her university was conveniently nearby. Given my busy schedule, I didn't get to talk much with her. She usually cooked food for both of us, and we would occasionally chat about how things were working out for her. One day while I was working in my room, she came in, looking sad and opened up crying. She told me how difficult it had been to form friendships and how some people were giving her a hard time. At that time, I was so engrossed in my work that I just sent her off, saying that she should focus more on her studies and not really care about the other people. After that day, she never talked about her university again. We barely conversed, and I often noticed that she looked a little more down than her usual self. It also reflected in the food she made. I decided to give her some time, hoping she would turn back to normal. One day, I returned home to a really nice dinner. She seemed really happy and was humming a song. I was a little relieved looking at her, so I sat down to eat my dinner. When I was going to sleep, she came into my room. It had been a long time since we spoke, but finally she opened up. I made a friend, and we were planning on going out tomorrow. I was a little surprised and hesitant, but looking at how happy she was, I decided to let her go. I didn't ask her much about the person since I was really tired and already in bed. The next day, when I returned home, I saw that there wasn't any food on the table. I tried calling out to her, but I remembered that she had gone out. Okay, there we go. I checked my phone to see if she had called or left any messages, as she wasn't the type to go out for so long without informing anyone. I waited for a little while, but since there wasn't any message from her, I decided to check her location. She seemed to be nearby, just 2 houses away in a nearby park, but she wasn't moving. I got out my bike and went to get her. When I reached there, I saw her on a swing. She wasn't swinging. She just sat there. Something was weird about her. Her eyes were red. She was just staring at something, and she didn't blink. "Hey, Ria, what are you doing over there?" I asked, a little angry and concerned at the same time. She didn't reply. She just stared. I didn't know what was wrong with her, but she looked unharmed. I asked her to sit on the bike, and she did as she was told. We got back home, but her behavior was weird. She stopped cooking food. She would go out early and come back late, and her appetite had grown significantly. She was consuming food enough for 2 people, and it really freaked me out. I asked my parents if something had happened while I was away, and they said they didn't notice anything unusual. I was considering consulting a doctor, but suddenly her behavior turned normal. She went to university in the morning as usual and started preparing dinner again. I was relieved and didn't think much about it. We didn't get to talk much, but she seemed normal again, and I was happy to get back to my work. However, one thing stood out. She was only making burgers. It was fine for a few days, but soon I got tired of eating them. On the 7th day, I decided to ask her if she wanted to go out for dinner. I also saw this as a chance to finally talk to her and to catch up. She didn't respond. It seemed as if she was sleeping. I decided to not disturb her and went to have a bath. This candy corn making my stomach hurt now. Oh, God. Oh, well. As the water fell from the shower, I was repulsed. A revolting stench came from the water. As I wiped off the water from my face, I was terrified. I was covered in blood. I screamed, and suddenly I heard her footsteps. She came running, and I heard her voice after so many days. "What happened, Ryan?" she said. I didn't respond. "Oh, come on, it's only a little blood. Why are you so scared? Open up." I got away from the shower to open the door, but I stopped. How did she know about the blood? I shot away from the door to the corner of the bathroom. Suddenly, her calm voice became more aggressive. She started shouting and howling. "Open it, open it, open it. Why won't you open? I'm your sister. was hammering the door, and I heard a hinge break, and my heart sank. I didn't think twice. I wrapped the towel. I wrapped my towel around my hand and punched the window harder and harder until it was completely shattered. The window was small, and I tore through And I tore through my flesh as I tried to pass through it. I heard another hinge break, and I pulled myself out. I had cuts all over my body, but I didn't stop. I ran towards the front yard and pulled out my bike. I heard her running from the front door, and I could hear her screaming before I left. Come back! I won't kill you! I didn't look back. I raced the bike faster than I had ever in my entire life. My vision was blurry. I had lost so much blood, but I reached the police station. Looking at my state, they decided to help. The police left from my house and the medical aid was provided to me. On my insistence, the police took me with them to my house, but my sister wasn't there anymore. I told them about the shower, and to their shock, when they had opened the water tank, there lay the lifeless body of my sister. The water had turned red, and the scene when they pulled out her body still gives me nightmares. Pieces of her hands and legs were missing, as if they had been cut off. If my sister was already dead, who was the person I was living with this entire time? I stayed in the police station that day, telling them what I had witnessed and explaining the entire situation to them. After they examined her body and the results came back after a while, the police informed me that the first time she had been cut was 7 days before. My mind froze. I couldn't breathe. I remember falling down after hearing that. The very thought revolted me. What had I done? The police kept calling me for over a month. At this time, I was at a hospital recovering from what had happened. I left my job, as I couldn't really focus on anything right now, and I planned on leaving this town. The police were still trying to find out what had caused this entire mess, but it's as if that thing had just disappeared after that day. We checked at her university, but apparently she wasn't really close to anyone, and some people even witnessed her being bullied. I'm your sister, why won't you talk to me? These words cut me like a knife. Even though I know it wasn't my sister that said those words, I don't know what the F that thing was, but I wish I had talked to her. My family blamed me for what happened, and I don't fight back because somewhere or the other, I did feel responsible for what had happened. I wish I paid more attention to her. Interesting. The comment says, seemed like a bit of an a-hole to your sister, but nonetheless, this is too much. Okay. That wasn't really scary. That was just like shock factor almost. Hold on, I'm gonna put some more candy corn on here. Okay. For aesthetic purposes, you feel me? Drink some water as well. Make sure y'all stay hydrated, man. That's so refreshing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's find maybe one or two more. Let's see. Okay. How long is this? Oh, that's pretty. Okay, no, we're not doing that. Okay. This one is called Never Sleep in a Dead Man's Bed. My grandmother had passed away, and sometime after the funeral, me and my brother were given the task of cleaning out her house and her possessions. We lived in another state, so we would be sleeping at the house for the week. So it would take to go through her stuff. Being a young lady, I was given the bedroom while my brother Dave would be sleeping on the couch. I was dusting some old picture frames off while Dave was going through a rack of old records when I came across a photo of my grandma and grandpa together. I never knew him because he died when I was still very young. Did you know grandpa? I asked. Dave looked up and replied, not really. I met him a bunch of times when I was a kid. He was kind of a jerk, to be honest. Oh. I was curious now. How so? He was real mean, Dave said. I was here one Halloween because mom and dad were in between apartments and had to stay here for a month. When kids would come to the door, he'd scare them off. I kind of giggled. Not that it's funny, but what kind of person would do that? I needed more details. That's so wrong. What did he do? Just run out the door after them? Dave put the records down and looked at me. He'd hide in the bushes and jump out at them, and then laugh as they ran away. He never did give them any candy. Are you serious? What the heck? I said as I put the picture frame in a box of memorabilia my mom would want to keep. Just out of curiosity, how did he die? I asked. Dave thought for a minute with his hand on his chin. I think they said his car went off the road into a lake. Funny thing is, they never found the body. The car couldn't be recovered because it was sunken into the lake bed up to the rear doors. It was literally sticking into the mud front first. They said the bottom of that lake was like quicksand. That night I went to bed, but couldn't sleep. It was a hot summer night in Louisiana, and we had the air on to keep us from sweltering. But the air vent in this house was in the ceiling and blowing cold air right in my face. I stood up on the bed to see if I could aim it somewhere else, but it was one of those fixed vent deals. I couldn't even close it. Not only that, but the mattress was hard as rock and full of dips. How grandma slept on that thing, I'll never know. The left side of the bed had a wall next to it without a foot of clearance. And the right side had a nightstand, which was heavy, so I couldn't just move the bed out the way of the Arctic blast. So I grabbed the pillow and switched directions, laying with my head at the foot of the bed and vice versa. At least I'd have a blanket over my feet, and that should work. It did. I started to nod off into dreamland. It was about 11 o'clock, and I was almost asleep. I was in that in-between zone where you're partially asleep, but still somewhat unaware of your surroundings. That's when I felt it. Someone grabbed my ankles under the sheets. I rolled over and pulled my legs up toward my chest and jumped out of bed. There was a night light, but it wasn't bright enough to tell if someone was there, so I just ran for the door. I didn't even bother to turn the light on. I just got out of there. My brother checked the rooms with the lights on and said no one was in there. He even checked under the bed. He asked me if I was fully asleep, and I said no. He told me that when you're in between awake and sleep, it's called sleep paralysis or a hypnagogic state, whatever that means. He said during that time, people often feel like there is someone touching them or sitting on them. Sometimes people even hear things and see shadowy figures. Dave was smart and knew about all kinds of things, so I believed him. Maybe that's all it was. I went back to sleep, but this time I turned the closet light on and left the door cracked open a little bit so I could see every dark corner, every recess in the room. I also read up on sleep paralysis on the internet for a few minutes, and my brother was right. I guess that's all it was. About half an hour later, I was trying to sleep, but I just couldn't. I was relaxed and resting, but I was definitely not in the in-between state. I felt a hand grab my foot again. It was definitely a hand. I could feel the various fingers as it clenched. I screamed out and pulled my feet up and jumped out of bed again. This time, after looking the bed over, That's why I was sleeping with my head at the foot of the bed. I explained to him that the vent in the wow, I can't read today, sorry y'all. I explained to him about the vents and cold air. Dave said that all the cold air on my feet must have had a numbing effect on my feet, and this can cause the nerves to feel funny where any small thing touching the skin could feel like something else. Even a hair, or maybe even a small bug or something like that run across my foot. I was too freaked out to stay. I made him take me to a hotel and drive me home the next day. Dave got his buddy Max to come help him finish cleaning out Grandma's house without me. A few days later, I got a text from Dave. He said that they were at the house and waiting for the police. I asked him why, and he said they were in the bedroom taking the bed apart when they discovered something. There was a slit in the mattress facing the wall, so they looked inside and they cut the mattress open because of what they saw. He sent a photo of the inside of the mattress after they cut it open. I recognized it right away. It was Grandpa, mummified. Wow. That was, wow. Wow. Okay, the comment says, I guess Grandma got tired of putting up with Grandpa being a mean A-word. I can't say that I blame her. Yeah, she must have pushed the empty car into the lake and then hit him in a place no one would look. Wow. All I can really say is wow. Okay, I got time for one more. I gotta find a short window. Let's see. How long is this one? Okay, okay. Okay, last one. It's called Halloween Party Turned Strange. I've had this friend for a long time, since childhood, and recently she broke up with her boyfriend, or I should say, she was dumped. And when did this happen? Well, right before Halloween. Usually on the 31st, I like to curl up with a big bucket of candy, wearing my comfiest PJs and hanging out with the good, sometimes scary movie. But this year, I knew I had to support my friend. So, when she wanted to go out to a party in a neighborhood near my place, I figured there was nothing more for me to do except say. There was nothing for me to do except say yes. I didn't have much in the way of a costume, so I dug up a pair of my favorite black jeans and put on a black top. That was scary enough for me. The party wasn't supposed to start until 10, but my friend texted me right at 8 that she was at the party and that I should just come by early. I groaned mentally, but I knew she needed someone to talk to and confide in besides that D-bag who cheated on her. So I put on my boots and head over. Immediately when I get there, there's a weird vibe. I made a beeline for the snacks and looked around, but I couldn't see my friend anywhere. In fact, the party was basically empty. There were only a few people in some costume that looked straight up weird. I was expecting Superman or Star Wars. Instead, I saw people in long black robes and dark red looking eyes. I figured it was an inside joke or maybe a movie that came out that I hadn't seen yet. Anyway, I chalked it up to not going out that much. It felt like an hour had passed, but finally I heard my friend. I looked around, but besides the people in weird costumes, I couldn't even see her at all. Even so, I figured I should go and try to find her. Another weird thing about this party was the really old tree in the yard. I couldn't figure out what it was, but I'll just say it didn't look normal. It was really big and clearly had been around for some time, despite this being a relatively new neighborhood. The leaves also looked dark and the trunk was mangled, like it had been messed with somehow. I could tell my friend's voice was coming from somewhere behind that tree, so I started walking towards it. I heard my friend and she sounded like she was right next to me. I figured it was just dark, but why couldn't I see her at all? Then, things went from strange to downright bizarre. Bizarre. The next thing I know, I saw my friend, but there wasn't anyone around, so I don't know who she could have been talking to. I tried to ask, but she started hugging me instead and told me how happy she was that I was here on her journey with her. It was only later that I started to question what that meant. She seemed like she wanted to say something else. She had a scared, afraid expression on her face, and she started tugging on my sleeve. That's when a random guy came over and said hi. He wasn't dressed like the others. He had a normal Luigi costume on. "What's up, Becky?" he said to my friend. Her name is Becky. Yo, we back. Okay. Sorry about that. Literally my camera had ran out of storage for a little bit, so we're back though. Last part I left off, I believe I was talking about Becky. Freaking Becky. Okay, so yeah. "What's up, Becky?" he said to my friend. Her name is Becky. Her stone cold expression turned into a smile. "Hey," he said. "Want me to take your picture?" He said. Oh wait. She said, "Hey, want me to take your picture?" he said, pulling out a camera. He took a picture on his old school Polaroid camera. But just then, someone came over. "Here," he said, handing me the photo. When I turned back, Becky was gone. I chalked the whole thing up to it being a weird night, and then I went home. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I was feeling pretty tired by then, and honestly, I was a little freaked. It wasn't until this morning that I dug out the photo from my bag. I couldn't believe what I saw. Should I go to the police? I haven't heard from my friend since last night. And that's the story. I don't really know, but they said there's a picture of the picture. Oh, what the world? I'm pretty sure this is real. Can y'all see that? Hold on. Let me see. Like, what the world? I'm pretty sure that's real. And maybe that's the thing that took Becky. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. But to be honest, it could all be fake. But it's like, I don't know. I just, that's all I can say. I don't know. But that's the last story. It kind of gave me a headache, or maybe this candy gave me a headache. I really need to go on a run. It's like a really nice, beautiful, hot day outside, so I might go and like run the sugar off or something. I don't know. As I eat another one. But yeah. Just want to say once again, thank y'all for all the love and all the support. Can we get to 700 subscribers real soon? Also, I hope y'all have a safe, super safe Halloween. Don't do nothing crazy. Don't show too much skin. Just have fun. And yeah, like the video, subscribe, comment down below any videos y'all want to see or any scary stories y'all have, whatever it is. And also let me know what y'all gonna dress up as for Halloween. I will be dressed up in probably this and some workout gloves and some AirPods, and yeah, that's my trick or treat, you feel me? But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. I love y'all.